Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lisa. I've been getting tons of messages asking about what camera I use for filming my dance covers, vlogging, lights I use for filming. Well, today's your lucky day because in this video, I'll reveal all the equipments that I use to make my YouTube videos. Whether you're planning on your next dance cover, starting your own YouTube journey, or just curious about how I put together my videos, you're in the right place. So let's jump right into it then. First, to film my dance covers and tutorials, I use this camera. This is Sony Alpha 6100. The biggest reason why I decided to use this camera is that this has sort of a wide lens. So when I use this camera, I don't have to worry about going out of frame. And because I don't have a separate person who's like adjusting the focus when I film my covers, it was really important that the camera was able to focus on me by itself. And this camera, I didn't have a problem with that at all. I don't think there was ever a time it went out of focus when I was dancing. And next, for my vlogging, I use several cameras. First one is this one, OG Canon G7X. Actually, I used this a long time ago, like when I first started vlogging. So I don't use it anymore, but I used it a lot. It's great because it's not that heavy, so it's really nice to carry around. And the lighting looks really nice in this video, so I didn't have to color the footage necessarily afterwards, so I really like that about this. But then one thing that I did not like was the audio. It wasn't like a clean sound, so I was looking for something else to film with, so I landed on the camera that I'm using right now, which is Sony ZV-1. I feel like this is really popular amongst vloggers, and I totally understand why a lot of people use this because it has like internal features which allow you to play around with the effects, so you can give it like very different vibes. The audio is so much better now, so I'm really happy with this. And the next camera that I use for vlogging is of course my iPhone 13 Pro. Because it allows for 4K videos, you can still get like those very high quality videos. I feel like iPhone is very convenient because you just have it with you all the time. So when I forget to bring one of my cameras, I just use my iPhone to film. And iPhone is really useful whenever I want to get this like really wide angle. So whenever I want to show like the entire background or entire environment, I tend to use the iPhone and set it to 0.5 zoom and then show the wide angle of it. And another vlogging camera that I use is this GoPro. This is GoPro Hero 11 Black. This is the camera that I use a lot whenever I travel because it's light. It's not like super lightweight, but just very convenient to carry around. And because you're like moving around consistently, it's just like nice to have those like internal stabilizer feature to make sure that your footages are not too shaky. Next, I'll introduce all of my tripods. First tripod that I use is this long one from Manfrotto. The official name I believe is Manfrotto Compact Action Aluminum tripod with hybrid head for entry-level DSLRs. I got this from Amazon, and just like its name, I feel like this is really easy to use, so it's great for those who are just getting into YouTube or don't have much background in photography or film. So I use this to film my dance covers and tutorials. And for vlogging, I actually have two tripods that I use. First one is this. This is also from Manfrotto. There's like a mini version of it. And this is really convenient because you can place your head like this to hold your iPhone, but you can detach this head to hold your DSLRs or cameras right on top of it. The thing I like most about this mini tripod is that it's really easy to adjust the angle. You just have to press this circle to adjust the head. And the second tripod that I use for vlogging is the one that I'm using currently. So I recently got this one because I realized that I sometimes use more than one camera to like behind the scenes kind of video. So I decided to get a second one, and this time I want to get one that could extend and be a little taller. Although I really like this tripod, the only downside of it is that it doesn't extend. Sometimes I want to film at an eye level or at a higher angle, and this didn't really meet my needs for that, so I decided to get another tripod that could be extended a little higher. So far so good. I don't have any complaints about it right now, but if anything comes up in the future, I'll let you guys know. And lastly, I have this, which is a stabilizer. To be honest, I've only used this once for my dance covers. I used this to film my Tomboy dance cover a while ago. It was my first and only time I filmed a moving dance cover. The only reason why I don't use this that often is because I need a separate cameraman to film my cover. If I ever decide to film another moving dance cover, I know I'm going to end up using this. Now I'll show you what mics I use. First one is this mic from LimoStudio. I actually got this mic very recently in Korea. I don't know if this is available for shipping in the US. I saw really great reviews and decided to use it for vlogging mostly because when you're out in the public, background noise can be really loud and that's something you can't really control. So for better quality audio, I decided to purchase one. I'm 100% satisfied with this product because it's affordable. It's not like too expensive. It's portable. The size is very small so you can just carry around, just put it in your bag. It's lightweight and most importantly, the quality is pretty nice. And the second mic that I use is my iPhone again. I just use the voice recording app in the iPhone. Like I said, like iPhone is just like a very convenient tool to carry around with you all the time because it's just have it with you all the time. Next, let's move on to the lightings. First is a lighting that a lot of you guys were curious about, which is the tube that are always behind me whenever I dance. Those are LED BP tubes from Eliminator. I'm really satisfied with my purchase for these. I feel like especially for dance covers, it makes a huge difference whether you have color lighting, and I feel like this added a bit more spice to my dance covers. I like that you can change the colors. It has those basic RGB lights and extra few colors. But if you are planning on buying these, just keep in mind that the color shade changes a lot whether or not the tube are fully charged. So when the tube is like 100% charged, it's gonna show a different shade of color than when it's like almost out of battery. I guess like one downside of using these tubes that it doesn't have those like features where it changes the color depending on the music. And it's really nice that these can be mounted vertically or horizontally, so you can just kind of like play around with where you place the tubes. And the next color lighting that I use is this. This is G1S RGB video light. If you want to have a better control of how you set the lighting, I would recommend this for you guys. You can have more agency when it comes to this lighting. You can adjust the saturation, brightness, or temperature, and this has a lot of lighting options compared to the other lighting tubes that I mentioned. So yeah, this is another one that I use often. And lastly, I use two softboxes which are from LimoStudio. I used to film my dance covers without them, and you probably would have noticed that it makes a huge difference. Before using these softboxes, my videos used to be very yellow and just dark, but after I started using the soft boxes, you could tell that it's much brighter than before. It's not yellow. Aesthetically, it just looked a lot better, so it was a game changer for me. Now I'm going to move on to the editing equipment. First of all, in terms of computers, I use Macbook Pro and then I have iMac. For some reason, I like editing my tutorials and dance covers on my iMac, and whenever I edit vlogs or these kind of like talking videos, I like to use my MacBook Pro. I honestly don't know why I like to do that, but I guess it just became like a habit. And now in terms of the editing programs that I use for editing all of my videos, my dance covers, my dance tutorials, vlogging, talking, just everything, I use Premiere Pro. It has been my dear friend ever since I started my YouTube channel, and so far it's been very kind to me. I did have a phase when I used to use Final Cut Pro, but for some reason, although Premiere Pro is much harder to learn, once you know how to use it, everything just makes sense, and I haven't been able to move away from it. So that's why I've been using Premiere Pro. And to create my thumbnails, I usually use Photoshop. And I've also started to use Canva lately to make my thumbnails. First got into Canva by using a trial mode, and then I absolutely loved it. It was so convenient for me because I'm not like an expert in Photoshop. I can only do like those basic things like using the magic tool, cropping, changing the color. So if I want to do anything more complicated than that, I tend to use Canva. So that's something that I recently picked up. And I also sometimes use befunky.com, which is like an online Photoshop tool that you can use. It's free for everyone. I just use it to sometimes like change the color of my thumbnail or adjust the dimension of my photos. I feel like it's a very quick and easy way to edit your thumbnails. And lastly, in terms of music, I use the free music library that's available in YouTube, but most of my music are from Thematic. Once you link your YouTube channel, you can download a couple of songs to use for free. There is a limit on how many songs you can download per month, but I feel like compared to the music library that's available in YouTube, it has more trendy music and has a variety of different genres of music. Whenever I add music to my vlogs, I often use music that's available in Thematic. So those are all the equipments that I use for filming and editing. I hope you guys found this really useful. I'm thinking for the future video, I could also talk about my creative process, explaining the details of how I edit my videos, or sharing the behind the scenes of my camera setup for filming. So if you're interested in hearing more about my creative process in making my videos, please let me know in the comments below. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!